In the vast cold waters of the North Atlantic, a magnificent creature glides silently beneath the waves. This is the North Atlantic right whale, one of the rarest large animals on our planet. For centuries, they were known as the right whale to hunt because they were slow, floated when killed, and yielded vast quantities of oil and baleen. This relentless pursuit brought them to the very edge of extinction. Today, fewer than 360 of these gentle giants remain. Their survival hangs by the most delicate of threads, a somber reminder of humanity's profound impact on the natural world. Each individual is now precious, a vital link in a chain that is perilously close to breaking forever. Their story is one of both tragedy and resilience. These whales are not just numbers. They are complex social beings with families and ancient migration routes passed down through generations. They journey thousands of miles each year, from the warm calving grounds off the coasts of Florida and Georgia to the rich feeding areas in the north, like Cape Cod Bay. This bay, in the springtime, becomes a crucial sanctuary. Here, the whales gather to feast on tiny crustaceans called copepods, building up the essential fat reserves needed to survive, reproduce, and raise their young. Protecting these specific habitats is therefore not just important, it is absolutely critical for their continued existence. Understanding these animals is the first step toward saving them. But how does one study a creature that weighs over 50 tons and spends most of its life underwater? For a long time, research was difficult and often invasive. Scientists had to get very close in boats, which could stress the whales, or they had to rely on studying animals that had already died. This gave us only a partial picture of their lives and their health. We needed a new way, a gentler way, to get the information required to protect them. The challenge was to observe them intimately without disturbing the very creatures we were trying to help, a puzzle that required a truly innovative solution. The plight of the North Atlantic right whale is a powerful symbol of the broader crisis facing our oceans. Their struggle for survival mirrors the health of the entire marine ecosystem. As they navigate a world filled with new dangers, their fate is intrinsically linked to our own actions. Their recovery, or their loss, will be a measure of our willingness to coexist with the incredible biodiversity of our planet. The great task before us is to turn the tide, to use our knowledge and our compassion to secure a future for these remarkable ocean wanderers. What was once the right whale to hunt must now become the right whale to save. To truly understand the health of a living whale, scientists needed to get creative. The answer, it turned out, was not to be found by chasing them in boats, but by looking to the sky. Over a period of 8 years, a team of researchers in Cape Cod Bay pioneered a remarkable new technique. They deployed specially designed drones, which they affectionately named SnotBots. These unmanned aerial vehicles are small, quiet, and can be flown with incredible precision. The mission was simple, yet ingenious, to fly the drone directly through the misty plume of a whale's breath as it surfaced to exhale. It is a moment that lasts only a few seconds. The process is a delicate dance between technology and nature. A skilled pilot on a nearby research boat carefully maneuvers the drone, watching the whale's behavior and anticipating the moment it will surface for air. As the whale expels a powerful gust of air and water vapor, its blow, the drone swoops in. Attached to the drone are petri dishes, sterile plates designed to capture the biological material suspended within this plume. This snot is a treasure trove of information. The drone can collect this precious sample and return to the boat in a matter of minutes, a quick and efficient operation that gathers vital data without ever touching the animal. This method is revolutionary because it is non-invasive. In the past, getting similar biological samples might have required firing a biopsy dart into the whale's skin, a procedure that, while providing valuable information, is stressful and painful for the animal. A noisy boat approaching a whale can also cause it to change its behavior, making it dive deep or swim away, which alters its stress levels and skews the data being collected. The SnotBot, however, is so unobtrusive that the whales often do not seem to notice it at all. They continue their natural behaviors, feeding, socializing, and resting undisturbed. Over the 8 years of the study, this fleet of drones successfully collected hundreds of samples from dozens of different right whales. Each sample is a snapshot in time, a detailed health report from an individual animal. By returning to the same location year after year, scientists could track the health of specific whales over time, observing how their bodies responded to changes in their environment, food availability, and the various stresses they encountered. This long-term perspective is crucial for understanding the challenges these animals face throughout their lives and for developing effective conservation strategies to help them. What exactly can be learned from a whale's breath? The answer is an astonishing amount. The samples collected by the SnotBots contain a rich cocktail of biological indicators, including DNA, stress hormones, and reproductive hormones. By analyzing this material back in the laboratory, scientists can essentially give each whale a health checkup without ever laying a hand on it. The hormones present in the blow can tell us if a whale is feeling stressed, if it is pregnant, or if it is struggling to find enough food. It is like listening to a conversation the body is having with itself. One of the most important discoveries from this research relates to stress. Scientists measured the levels of hormones like cortisol, which are released in response to stressful situations. They found that these levels change depending on the challenges the whales face. For example, a whale that has been entangled in fishing gear will show significantly higher stress hormones. By tracking these levels across the population, researchers can identify which threats are causing the most physiological harm. This information is vital for convincing policymakers and industries to take action, showing them the direct physical impact that human activities are having on these animals. The drone samples also offer clues about the whale's reproductive success, which is a key factor in the species' recovery. By measuring reproductive hormones, scientists can determine how many females in the population are pregnant. Worryingly, the research has shown that birth rates have been alarmingly low in recent years. This suggests that the whales are under so much chronic stress from a lack of food and other dangers that their bodies are unable to support a pregnancy. This insight helps explain why the population is not growing, and it highlights the urgent need to reduce the pressures on these animals so they can successfully reproduce. Furthermore, the collected breath contains microorganisms, including bacteria and viruses. Studying this microbiome of the whale's respiratory tract can reveal a great deal about its overall health and immune system. Just as in humans, a healthy balance of bacteria is important for fending off disease. Changes in this microbiome could signal an infection or a weakened immune system, providing an early warning sign that a whale is unwell. This new frontier of research opens up a whole new way of monitoring the health of the population, allowing for proactive measures to be taken before it is too late. The information gathered from the whale's breath paints a clear picture of the immense challenges they face. Today, the greatest threats to North Atlantic right whales are not whaling ships, but the industrialization of our oceans. One of the biggest dangers is vessel strikes. These massive whales often feed just below the surface, making them difficult to see from the bridge of a large container ship or tanker. A collision is often fatal. Slowing ships down in key whale habitats is one of the most effective ways to reduce this risk, and the data on whale locations and health helps to define where and when these speed limits are most needed. Another devastating threat comes from the fishing industry. The thick, strong ropes used for lobster and crab pots create a deadly maze in the water column. Whales can become entangled in these lines, which can wrap around their mouths, flippers, or tails. This does not always kill them outright. Instead, it can lead to a slow, agonizing death from injury, infection, or starvation, as the ropes cut into their flesh and prevent them from feeding. The stress data from the SnotBots confirms the immense suffering these entanglements cause, strengthening the case for a transition to new, ropeless fishing gear that would eliminate this danger. Compounding these issues is the overarching threat of climate change. As ocean temperatures rise, the tiny copepods that right whales depend on for food are shifting their location, moving into deeper waters or further north, away from protected areas. This forces the whales to travel longer distances to find food, burning precious energy and leading them into busy shipping lanes or areas with dense fishing gear where they are not expected. This search for sustenance is making their world more dangerous than ever before, and is a major factor behind their poor health and low birth rates. Despite this daunting reality, the innovative Science of SnotBots offers a powerful message of hope. By providing clear, undeniable evidence of the whale's health and the sources of their stress, this research gives conservationists the tools they need to advocate for meaningful change. It allows us to move beyond simply counting the dead and start actively monitoring the health of the living. This new understanding, born from a gentle puff of air, empowers us to make smarter decisions, to reroute ships, to innovate fishing gear, and to protect critical habitats. It shows that with ingenuity and empathy, we can find new ways to coexist with the giants of the sea, and perhaps perhaps give the right whale a true chance at survival.